Hello, dear friends, dear fans, dear followers. I bring you greetings. Happy new month. Wow, the year is running very fast. Happy new month. I hope that we are doing well and all staying safe in these times as we keep trusting on the mercies of the Lord to bring us out of this era or this pandemic even stronger than before. That's our belief. Happy new month. For my new friends, for my new viewers, this is your girl Katie, and you know what I'm all about? I'm all about inspiring and motivating and implanting hope so that you can stay motivated and keep holding on regardless of what life throws at you. Today, I just want to share a few tips about the importance of setting goals. And the reason why I decided to talk about the importance of setting goals, even though it sounds very easy or simple, it's because a lot of the times I've been reading about goal setting because it's what I also had to learn how to do. When you set goals, or when you don't set goals, when you don't set your goals and write them down clearly, you realize that a lot of people have ended up quitting or not living life to their full potential or not achieving to their full potential because they just end up quitting because they have all these plans and big dreams in their head that just remains a dream because they never achieve them, and then they go about life feeling really disgruntled and bitter and unhappy. So that's why if you practice some of these tips that I'll be sharing with you today, you realize how far it can really take you generally in life. So what is goal setting? Goal setting is simply an act of realizing or coming up with what you want to achieve and then set them down clearly and then come up with a plan on how you want to then achieve that goal. Okay, so it's very, very important. Don't just wake up and take life as it comes without a plan, without a focus. And why is it so important to set goals? The reason why you want to be setting yourself some goals, if you haven't done so already, we are in the month of June in 2020. The reason why you want to be setting yourself goals is because, one, they keep you really focused. Yes, when you set goals, they keep you focused. It focuses on you achieving knowledge in that area if it's something that you want to achieve that you're not knowledgeable about. So it just helps you acquire knowledge in that area. Another reason why it's so important for you to set goals is that it helps you, it allows you to maximize time. We only have 24 hours in a day. If you don't maximize these hours, you end up seeing that you end up day in, day out having very unproductive days, which again, as I said, can be very frustrating, and a lot of people end up quitting. And because I'm all about motivating you not to quit, to stay motivated, that's why I want you to stay tuned. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for your support. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe at the bottom of this video and also click on the notification button so that you stay tuned whenever I upload any episode of Never Give Up. I welcome you to my channel today and yet another episode of Never Give Up. So tip number one, identify your goals. What is that thing that you want to achieve? So when you identify that goal, the next thing you want to be doing is breaking it down. And by that, I mean long-term and short-term goals. As for me, this is what I do. I'm always writing. So that's my vision book. That's what I call my long-term goal book. So that's my vision book, or I call it goal book, whatever I want to call it. But you have to get yourself a book, £1, $1. And then, because I've got two of them. So I've got a long-term and a short-term book. And I'll go into it in a minute. And what am I saying? When you identify your goals, you want to break it down into short-term goals and long-term goals. And that's because it's good to dream big, but it's always good to start small. By small, I mean have a big dream, but take one day at a time. So you come up with a plan. That's what I mean by setting your goals and taking it one step at a time. Now, after you break your goals down into long-term and short-term goals, you want to make sure that you are setting very smart goals, and by that I mean your goals should be very specific. Okay, so set smart goals, and the S for the smart is specific. Let your goals be very, very specific, and that is where I come to my second book that I showed you. You can get a notebook. I have one for my personal life and I have one for my work life. I cannot go a day. If I go a day without my to-do list, I end up having a very unproductive day, and that's what I mean by wasting time. I mean, how many hours do we have in a day? So when you identify your goals, remember, you want to say whether it's short term or long term. And then the next thing, very, very important, you want to make sure that you write it down. Write them down, because if you do not write it down, it remains a dream, it remains a thought, it remains a wish in your head. Get yourself a book and write it down. Even the Bible says that the vision is meant for an appointed time. Have you ever found it, have you ever experienced an incident where an idea popped in your mind or dropped in your spirit, and then because you didn't write it down, when you kind of settle down, or maybe a few days later, and you're trying to think about it, you just can't remember? It's happened to me lots of times. You can't remember what that idea was. You just cannot remember. But if you had a book and you were in a place where you could write that down, hey, it's written down. You can always come back to it even 1 week later. So always remember to write it down. Now, you want to make sure that the goals that you're setting, when you're setting yourself goals, they should be measurable. By that, what do I mean? Get someone who is close to you. If you have someone you can confide in, get someone who is close to you, and just confide in them and tell them about your goal. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it helps you accountable. Accountability in goal setting is very important, because the reason why you want to be accountable is because it helps you track progress as well. So when you write it down and you confide in somebody, if you don't have anybody to confide in, that's fine. I have, 1 or 2 of those kind of people in my life. So when I share them my goals, what I want to do, from time to time, they'll ask me, hey, Katie, how far have you gone with this goal that you were, trying to achieve? That way it keeps you accountable, and it keeps you focused, and it also keeps you motivated. Also, another tip that you can try, or you want to be doing, is that when you write your goals down, you also want to make sure that they are measurable. So you measure those goals and be very specific and write them down clearly, because when you write it down clearly, it becomes to look attainable, it looks achievable, it looks like something. Because when it's all in your head, it can be really, really overwhelming. But once you're writing it down, it starts looking like something that you can really, really do. You want to make sure that your goals are, I've spoken about SMA, your goals are attainable. So do not set yourself up to fail. Don't set yourself up to fail. Set goals that are attainable, that relate to where you are in the journey of your life. You're not in competition with anybody. So set your goals that are attainable, goals that you know that you can achieve. So and the R in the SMART is set goals that are relevant to your situation. They should be relevant to you. It's not about pleasing somebody. It's not about proving a point to anybody else. You're just going to break, and then you would burn out and then give up and quit. And it will look like you don't have in you what it takes. We all have it in us, what it takes to achieve whatever dream that we're believing God for. We have it in us, but we just have to sometimes break them down and make sure that they are quite relevant to our situation. And the next one is that's SMART. The next one is that you want your goals to be very time bound. So they should be timely. When you wake up every single day, for example, that's what this book is for. That's what I use this book for. So I break it down every single day. You want to, when your goals are SMART, you want to make sure that every single day, you can see this book, you can see that I've written in them, I've written, it's got stuff in that I kind of, so that's what I do every single day. At the close of every single day, you want to be reflective. You want to sit down and look at your to-do list. What sort of day did you have? Was your day productive? That's how you track progress. So was your day productive? On your to-do list, that's on those small goals that you wrote them down very specifically and timely. What did you achieve? So you go through, you tick, 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 tick. And some days you would have carryover goals. That's absolutely fine. But the importance of tracking it and making sure that you stay accountable is because, like me, for example, when I go through my to-do list and see that I didn't tick through everything that I was meant to be doing for that day, sometimes it can affect the time that I wake up the following day. So when I have carryover goals, short-term carryover goals that I have to carry over to the next day, that's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I feel really, really bad that I wasn't able to go through everything that I had said to do for that day, but that's absolutely fine. That is why God gives us a new day, a new chance to then be taken through those goals. It's okay to come up with a plan on how you want to achieve those goals and whatever you're believing God for. But what is not okay is for you to then not start at all because you're overwhelmed. So please, if you're watching me, we are still in June. What is that goal? What are you believing God for? The Bible says that you should write it down across the table. Write those goals down. Break it down. Make them smart. Be accountable. Track progress wherever you need to be improving on yourself. Improve on yourself, because that's how you know, and that's how you improve and build yourself as well. Because when you're tracking your progress, or you're tracking those goals, it's also allowing you to see where there are any loopholes. It allows you to see where you need to be changing your approach. It allows you to develop yourself. It allows you to build character, but more so, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you focused, and you then minimize the chances of just wasting your time. So please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, as I said, please subscribe. I would appreciate your comments, and do share this video. Thanks for staying tuned, and to my next video. Look after yourself and keep doing the good stuff. And we keep trusting God that these times too shall pass. And whatever you're believing God for, keep holding on, keep holding tight. He makes all things beautiful in his own time. Till my next video, remain blessed.